good evening. Or if you're like, across the pond, it could be morning, or like you might not even be awake at this point. We are driving to this little beach called Matthews Beach right now. And I kind of know where it's at. I've been here like once or twice before, but I can't quite remember where it's at. So we're gonna hopefully we turn into the right place, but I don't know if that's gonna happen or not quite yet. I decided to take a drive. I was gonna sit on my roof today, but it's raining, and as I literally say that, like the raindrops hit the windshield. So I decided not to. I decided to go over to Lake Washington and take a little bit of a drive and just kind of watch the rain come down for a little bit while I spoke to all of you. So that's where we're headed. I think I don't think that was it. Oh no, I don't know where I'm going right now. So anyway, let's see here. 110. Okay. All right. So, essentially, like, I kind of wanted to do something a little bit more live today like this because, I haven't really had a whole lot of time to just, like, sit down and edit. I kind of go through phases in my, like, life and career where I go through, like, the prep phase, and then I'm like, work. And then I go through the prep phase, and then I kind of work again. And what I'm finding is not quite. I'm finding that like these work prep kind of stuff is getting to be much more connected. I don't have the time to prep like I normally would, which is proving difficult, and it's showing, I feel like, in my vlogs. A lot of my vlogs, I felt like over the last about the last month, I set a goal for myself to be like, yeah, I know, right? It is raining in Seattle. But I set a goal for myself. I was like, all right, you know what? From this point on, I'm going to do a vlog a week. And it's hard. Like, straight up, it's really, really hard. And they're definitely not to the standard that I want them to be at. But again, I think, like, setting that goal for yourself and making that, like, strict is really, really important. So my hope for in the future is that even though I'm in this sort of, like, prep phase and, like, working mode, which you're going to find out I have a ton of stuff coming up here in a few months, I'm hoping that I can start to find the time to really start focusing in on these vlogs and things, because I miss them, the high intensity, like, edits just as much as you do, I think. Okay, I found Matthews Beach Park. So we're at this little place, and so quick story time. One time I got here really, really early in the morning. Like, it was like 5:30 or something. The sun was just rising. And I was like, I'm a little early for work. I'm going to go walk around this place. And so I truck. I was like, cool, no big deal. But then as I got out of the car and I started walking around, he just like stared at me. He rolled down his window and like smoking a big old fat cigar. And it was scary. Anyway, that's the end of that story. So I just parked, and let's go for just a little bit of walking before it gets too chaotic out there. All right. So this is Matthews. Oh. Hello, all your viewers. All right. So how do I... Oh, it's raining in Michigan. Hi, Kristen. How are you? All right, let's see here. Matthews Beach Park. This is why I wanted to come here this morning, or I guess it's this evening. I can never remember what time of day it is. I work too much. And, yeah, like I said, we're just going to kind of watch the rain come in. Hopefully not get too wet. Yeah, I bet I am buffering. I'm sort of like along the lakeside right now. I'm not in Wi-Fi, so I'm using my 4G connection. So, all right. So I know that somebody asked right off the bat, like, if I have any shows coming up. I posted a question yesterday, and I was like, I'm doing a live stream. Hit me up for questions. Somebody asked if I had a show coming up, so let's start with that. I am playing a show here in like 5 days? No, 14 days. It's 14 days. And it is a show. We got invited to a private event. It's with Traction. They're a new event in town. They're sort of similar, I think, to Gender Odyssey. And they're gonna have some like talks and some cool stuff going on. And they invited us to play. It's a good paying gig for us too, which is crazy to get as a musician. And we're going to be focusing on putting pretty much any pay that we get over the next couple months into recording a full-length album. So we're going to do a full-length album. I think it's going to be 10 songs. I'm aiming for 12, but the affordability of it is more trouble than it's worth. So, hi guys. How's it going? Oh, you know, hanging out. I am. They're hanging out in the rain all day. Cheers, guys. So yeah, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful little lake. So yeah, I have a show, and I want to talk about the band real quick because there's a lot of good stuff happening with the band, and it's kind of fun and kind of exciting. We got a show in Portland. We got a show in Bellingham. We got a bunch of shows around Seattle. People are like starting to contact us and be like, hey, can you open for this band coming in? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I got a show in New York. A couple of things are happening in New York, actually. I am actually going to New York for 2 reasons. The first one is that show. We're still nailing down the date. The venue is in the car. I can't remember. I wrote it down. But we're still nailing down a date. And it's going to be the last week of October. And in that last week, I'm also meeting with a fashion stylist. Totally different than a designer, I've learned. And the stylist is going to be doing a photo shoot that's more like cyberpunk themed and stuff. Side note, total tangent right now. I'm super stoked for the cyberpunk game coming out. Like, if you don't hear from me, I'm playing that, like, just straight up all the time. But anyway, I'm really excited for that. And we're going to try to chime that with the release of the game and maybe look at, like, some type of editorial and stuff. So, yeah, we got New York coming up in the end of October. A couple really good, like, Portland shows. A good Bellingham show on a Saturday, a bunch of shows around town, a couple really high-paying gigs, and new music, like tomorrow. But I actually released it yesterday. I released my single yesterday, and my single is called This Time, if you want. It's on my Bandcamp. I do this thing to help me raise money to release more music. So if you want to support me, it's only on Bandcamp right now. It'll only be on Bandcamp for the first month, and then it goes everywhere else the next month. And so yeah, go listen to it. Enjoy it. It'll be a lot of fun. Hi, Louise. All right, so now I am starting to get wet. I don't know if you can see it on my glasses, but it's starting to get wet. And we are in the car. So, all right, so I also got, whoops, I hit a button. I hit a bunch of buttons. So I also got some really cool stuff coming up as well. Like, okay, so I talked about, this is my notebook. Look at how organized I am. See, okay, isn't that cool? I drew a camera there. So, what's the other one? Yeah, so, okay. This one's really cool. So my friend Molly, she is a, sorry, my phone is acting funny because they put a button on my phone holder. Okay, there we go. All right, so my friend Molly is, hi, oh, you have a cool name. Farouk, awesome. Thank you for watching. So, what was I saying? Molly, that's right. So she is, what do you call that term? What's the, a playwright. She's a playwright. And she wrote this piece that's inspired by her niece. Her niece is transitioning. So Molly wrote this musical, and she has asked me to be the vocalist for like the trial run of everything. I know Louise is watching right now, so I think Louise. I know Louise is a playwright as well. So if I don't know what like the trial run is called, but it's like the one that you send to a bunch of theaters, and you'd be like, "This is the stuff that I wrote. Would you be willing to like send it?" But yeah, she asked me to be the vocalist for that. So in my calendar, I have a bunch of like days, and I'm like, okay, practice Intergalactica. And I am just like, it's so many songs, and we're doing it all in the studio, and I just have to like learn so much stuff, and then I have to perform it, and then I might be doing it on stage. I don't know yet. We're gonna talk about that at a later date. But that's super duper cool, and I'm really excited for it. So let's see what else happened. There's Molly, New York. Oh yeah, is anybody gonna be in New York at the end of October? I was kind of hoping that somebody was. It'd be really cool to like meet some of you. I think I'm gonna be there from October 28th until November 1st. So I'm gonna stay over Halloween. If anybody has a Halloween party, I'd love to go. Let's see here. Website. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm updating that stuff. What am I doing? Oh. So, speaking of fashion, I'm just kind of jumping around all over the place right now. Speaking of fashion, I met this awesome lady. She moved here like last year, and she's a fantastic designer. Her name is Marissa Conich. She has asked me to model her gowns, which I am all about. I'm like, yes, please. And it's sort of like this. Okay, keep your panties on. It's sort of like this, like bondage, like strappy kind of dress. It's a full, like full bodice and everything like that. But the way it's designed is cool. It's really cool. So long sleeves, like a nice neckline, and I think it's a full length gown. But anyway, that's gonna happen. I'm gonna go in for a fitting here in the next couple of months. I originally went for this fitting like back in March or something. So this is something that I've for a while, and it was sort of like this. I don't know. It's just like everything has just been like this kind of climb, and I've been seeing little tiny pictures of it, and each new image that I get is just like, are you kidding me? So, oh, all right. So, Farouk asks a question. What does Farouk say? So I have so much dysphoria with my voice. Are you trained your voice because your voice is so soft and beautiful? Yes. So so I'm a professional voice coach. That is actually how I make most of my income. As much as I would love to be like a full-time entertainer, model, musician, and stuff. It's not feasible. I mean, I don't think I need to explain to any of you how hard being an artist is. But I am a professional voice coach. I have taken voice lessons myself for almost 2 decades now. I've always been a singer. I've always had like vocal control, if you will, and I guess like I taught myself how to use my voice through a bunch of just like prior teaching with like of my former coaches and things. And what I did, and so this is just like good general advice that I give to anybody, regardless of if they're a student or not, or whoever they are. But seriously, like record your voice, because the more that you can like just hear yourself back, and you just like continue creating this feedback loop, you're always just like going like, okay, did this work? And then hit the stop button. Okay, check again. Did this one work? Okay, hit the stop button. Now I'm going to put it more far away, and I'm going to put it more on the back. And then you can do a bunch of stuff with your voice, but play with it. Because if you're not willing to play with the voice, you will never find the voice that you're looking for. Record it, because then you'll find the voice that you're looking for. So plus size model. I think I didn't see the question come in, but I saw the question come in, but I don't know how to use my phone. How do I use my phone? Ah, there it is. Sweet. You're welcome for it. Do you support? Of course. I support plus size models. The modeling industry is my back. I don't know what happened. Street is a really, really huge industry. You have to consider like there are so many body types, so many obviously gender variant people, and like no one person fits into the mold of a model. And in fact, like for me, I am really tall, I'm really skinny, and so for me, like it's really hard for me to get gigs as a model because the type of stuff that I get actually picked for is high fashion. Guess who doesn't sell high fashion very often? The majority of everybody. So for me, actually, it's really difficult to get gigs. I actually have to kind of go a roundabout way of like going to a designer who's designing specifically for fashion in mind, as opposed to somebody like, somebody who's doing clothing for the masses, which is a lot of, there's a much broader spectrum of people that can fit into that style of clothing. So, it just depends on sort of like, what you're looking to get into, what your goals are, I guess. Because anybody can be a model. You just have to kind of find your fit within that. And that's kind of the tricky part because you kind of have to like know where to go. But yeah, anybody can be a model. It's not something that's just exclusive to tall, skinny, blonde hair, 6 foot people. Because honestly, it's kind of hard for me to find modeling gigs. And especially as a trans person, like the majority of people that I run into are not like, they don't consider trans people as models. So I just kind of throw myself out there and hope for the best. And if somebody is of the, inclusive mind, then maybe I'll get picked. But it's still just who you know. So yeah, a lot of fashion stuff is just kind of luck. I don't want to make a career out of my modeling. It's a lot of fun, but it's not my like end all be all. So I have a lot of stuff coming up in that regard. Also, just as a side note, I found that I prefer more editorial stuff than I do runway. If you've seen a decline in the runway stuff, that's kind of why I got to New York Fashion Week, kind of luck again. I just fell in with a designer who was like already planning on doing it. I was like, okay, I guess I'm going. It was fun, but there's also that idea of I don't know. It's just it's so much work for like less than 30 seconds on the runway. And I kind of prefer the editorial stuff. I like getting photos back, and I'm on stage enough as a musician. It's not something that like I'm looking for as a model. So let's see here. Oh yeah, speaking of modeling, and editorial stuff, I got my first editorial, like legit editorial. That was this. These images are still waiting to come out, but they should come out in the next couple of months. I was just emailing the person in charge, and I was like, "Hey, just checking in," and they seem to be like pretty cool about it. But I got my first editorial, and that's like a huge milestone. So it's for this company called Maston Labs. If you want to look it up, they're good. But anyway, you're gonna see a vlog about all these things. Like pretty much the reason why I'm doing this whole talk today is because this whole thing is everything that I'm going to be vlogging in the next like couple of months here. As I was sort of mentioning in the beginning, like there's this idea of just like kind of this prep and the work and then the prep and the work. And now this is starting to blend. And lately I've been going through my calendar and starting to like schedule my hours now. It's just the way it goes. I have to start like looking at things in a more serious way if I want to continue my career in this direction, because I could just kind of let things simmer right now as they are, but I don't want to do that. So we're gonna keep trucking away. And yeah, so didn't want to talk about this as well. So one of the things that I feel like there's a disconnect on this channel with me and you, because there's only one sort of direction when it comes to disconnect. Um, the the idea of like inviting, like doing vlogs for my shows and things like that. Um, like it's so difficult because it's such a high stress environment to be vlogging and performing in that same sort of sense. Because like my vlog is, I mean, like it's me, but I'm also like kind of like heightening it up a little bit. And like it's this kind of like there's just too much stress in my mind. But this is like we're not in town anymore. We're starting to get shows out of town. So I'm gonna try my best to vlog the Bellingham show, to vlog the Portland show, and like the journey behind that as well. And like I mentioned, the content that I am wanting to make here on this channel has not reflected what I've been doing over the last couple of weeks, because I've been focusing on this film that I've been directing, which is another bit. I'm at the end of my rope now. Um, oh, just because I saw that. So I have another song coming out after this time, and it'll be Solace. I guess is the first official announcement of that song. But Solace is coming out. I think we're gonna do it in the new year. We haven't quite determined when things are gonna come out yet. We're also doing YouTube covers as well. Not YouTube covers, but YouTube covers. We're gonna do a bunch of like cover songs next year as a band. And hopefully like I can show you my music and things like that in a more like real way, because that's what I'm like. That's here. That's my soul. That's my lifeblood. Um, but yeah, I'm so grateful for all you. If you have any questions for me, now's your opportunity. Otherwise, I'm gonna get going here real soon. And I just wanted to say before I see the delay in question maybe pop up, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in with me. Sorry I was a little late today. I was trying to drive to enjoy the rain, which is still going on right now. So if you can like this video, I've seen like a few of you here, and there's only 3 likes. So click the like button, and that'll make me even happier. And subscribe if you want to share my content. That's the best way to help me out. And I think that's all I got for you. All right, bye. Enjoy the weather. Bye. The vlog doesn't end. I actually have to push the button now. See ya. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Oh.